everybody, stars in a terrific new Broadway musical. It's called Honeymoon in Vegas, where he's bringing audiences to their feet. Please welcome the one and only Tony Danza.
Hey,
nice to see you again.
How you doing?
You want shoe cam? Why are you standing there? You want shoe cam?
No, I'm just saying hi to the crowd.
Oh,
how you doing? Yeah.
No, not how you doing. This is Italian Brooklyn.
Yeah, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?
Here at Wendy, it's how you doing?
Yeah.
It's nice to see you again.
Thank you. Nice to be back.
It's
Hi,
been a moment.
It's been a while.
You are, while handsome is what you're supposed to say about fully formed men, you are adorable.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you know what I mean? You remind me of,
It's always nice to hear.
yeah, no. You have boyish good looks. You remind me of, like, Joey Lawrence's older brother. They both remind me kind of...
Joey's a good kid.
He's
like
a
him.
good
He's
kid,
a
too.
Kid, yeah.
And another one, adorable. So, did you watch the Oscars?
Yes, I did.
Did you like it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's an award show,
Yeah.
so it can only be so great. But it was a long way to Tipperary. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Would you ever host an award show, or have you ever?
I've hosted a bunch of shows.
Yeah.
Hosted People's Choice, and but I would love to do it.
Yeah.
I would love to do it. Yeah.
Are you living in New York? I mean,
I
know
live in the greatest city in the world, New York City.
That's what I said.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, it's the best.
So you're back. You're not just here for Broadway.
No,
You're back.
I moved back about 5 years ago, and it's just the greatest. You know, the city is just so exciting all the time.
It's one of the places.
Even when it's freezing, like
yes,
it is now.
yeah. But it's one of the only places in the world, I think, where highly recognizable people like you can absolutely walk the streets and nobody bothers you.
I sort of have the perfect amount of fame.
Yeah.
See, there's really only 2 times you want to be a celebrity. Let me clue you in on this.
When?
There's only 2 times: a restaurant and a hospital. Those are the 2 times. So you get a table or a bed.
Yeah.
That's number 1. And then if you can do that and still ride the subway, then you're cool.
Now you go down in that hole?
The hole? Yes, I go down into the... Yeah, wait, let me show you. Here, look, there it is,
There's
baby.
a Metro card.
My Metro card. I even have... Oh, yeah. And I have an unlimited one, too, just in case.
Just in case.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Tony Danza holds his money and Metro card in a clip that we
this
we used to...
This is really,
But
functional.
It's
functional.
nice, though. Celebrities,
Utility.
they're just like us.
No, well, let me tell you something. The great thing about New York is the brush. You know what the brush is?
No.
The brush is when you brush against people.
Oh, yeah.
You brush against people. You're in a subway car or on a bus. You'll probably be around more people than you would be around in close proximity.
Yes.
In L.A. in about a week and a half,
Yes.
2 weeks. You
Yes.
know. I mean, really, the only time you get the brush in L.A. is when somebody gives you the finger from their car.
So, we know you from Taxi at first.
Right.
That was your big breakout role. But how were...
I just want to tell you, so we're doing the show Honeymoon in Vegas on Broadway, and it's so terrific. But one of the great things was we opened January 15th, and everybody from Taxi, the whole cast, and even Jimmy Brooks, the producer, and Jimmy Burrows, the director, they all showed up. Oh, there it is.
That is unbelievable. And you want to know what? You know what I love about this picture?
I love that picture so much.
I love this picture. You are all still alive. You're healthy. And
we're all still together.
And you're all still together. And most of you have been on this show already.
Chris Lloyd said, we still get together on this show. He says, I've been on other shows. We don't still get together. But this
nice.
group, there was one, there was talk that we hadn't been together like this in so long that Mary Lou couldn't remember the last time we were.
Yeah, because she's got one of those memories where she remembers everything.
But these are the people that I absolutely started with. And so they all came to the Broadway show.
This is how civilized people act. Now, also Judith Light
Judy
showed
came,
up.
Yes.
And Danny.
And Daniel Pintaro. Danny Pintaro. There they are.
I mean, Tony.
It was one of the greatest nights I've ever had.
Did you cry?
I did cry, and I'll tell you, I had another great night. I had one of the greatest nights of all time. My son, I have an older son. He's 44. He just turned 44
Are you serious?
in January. Yes. Got off to a quick start. In any case,
okay.
in any case, he's got 2 boys. He's got Nicholas 9 and Lucas 3.
Yeah.
And he brought his wife and his kids to see the show.
Yeah.
Now, you know, they had to come from California. It was a big thing. They stayed in my apartment. We had a great time you know, with the kids. But if you would have told me 44 years ago that this kid would be with his sons watching me on Broadway, it was pretty heady. And I could see them from my audience. See what we did from the stage. What we did was we took a shot. We put the 3-year-old and the 9-year-old. The 9-year-old we didn't worry about, but the 3-year-old in the audience. So my son texted me from the audience, and I was backstage and said, "Dad, theater goers are looking askance at us because they saw this 3-year-old. They go, who brings a 3-year-old to a play?" Well, the good news is he doesn't make a sound. He doesn't make a sound except to laugh, and he watches the show, and they love the show. And that's what's great about the show, that you can go to this show and enjoy it with your kids as opposed to take your kids. Wait, let me give you the punchline.
Okay.
2 weeks go by. 2 weeks go by. They go back to California. 2 weeks go by. She calls, my daughter-in-law, Julie, calls me. She says, "You won't believe what just happened. I'm sitting here with Lucas. I'm at the table working in the kitchen. He's sitting on the floor in the living room. The other two are out. And he says over his shoulder, 'Mom, we got to call Betsy.' Now, Betsy is the name of the character in our show, Jack and Betsy. So she says, 'Betsy? Who's Betsy? Is it a schoolmate?' You know, she can't figure it out. Finally, he says, 'No, Grandpa's friend Betsy.' He remembered the show
from
2
the
weeks
show.
later.
That's amazing. How many times have you been on Broadway?
I've been on Broadway, 5 or 6 times.
Now, do you...
Twice in a musical. I did The Producers. I did Max Bialystock in The Producers. It's a little different in Italian. And I've done a bunch of plays.
And you are getting rave reviews, Honeymoon in Vegas. When it opened, you had your opening party, and then you all waited around for the reviews.
Yeah, that's what you do. You do the show, and then you go to the party, and you wait for the review, and you hope the review is good.
And the review comes out like 2 hours later.
Yeah.
And so you're getting ovations everywhere.
Yeah,
for you.
You know, I think we got tickets for everybody in the show, everybody here.
Well, as a matter of fact, everyone's going.
Come see the show. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Come see it. You won't believe it.
A good time for everybody. Give it up for Tony Danza, everyone. It's called Honeymoon in Vegas. It's at the Nederlander Theater on Broadway.